The end of the world wasn't the end of the story. When everything fell apart, Fallout became a series about survival, about broken systems, and the people left walking through them. But through every era, every wasteland, and every version of that world, there's always been someone else walking beside you. Not a hero, not a savior, just a companion. Fallout has changed a lot over the years. Different worlds, different tones, different ideas of what survival even means. But one thing that keeps showing up is the dog. Sometimes they're strays, sometimes they're built, repaired, or barely holding together, and a lot of the time they don't even have a name when you first meet them. They're never the center of the story, they're not there to make big choices for you, and they won't judge you on the choices that you do make. When Fallout released in 1997, it was a harsh and lonely game. There were no quest markers, no voice companions, most of the time it was just you and the wasteland. Dogmeat is the first companion most players ever meet. A stray German shepherd found outside Junktown. He has no backstory, no dialogue, no explanation. He doesn't join you because of a quest. He doesn't ask for anything. He simply follows. Mechanically, Dogmeat is fragile. He can die permanently, and for most players, he often does. But this is where Fallout's dog companions begin. Fallout 2 expands the world, but it keeps the idea of the dog. This time, it isn't a stray. Canine is a cybernetic police dog, found in the Enclave base in Navarro, built for enforcement, enhanced with mechanical implants, designed to follow orders. He's tougher than the original Dogmeat, more durable, and far harder to lose permanently. But the role stays familiar. He doesn't speak, he doesn't question you, he stays close. Fallout 2 also allows Dogmeat to return, and there's also the Pariah Dog, another four-legged companion found through a random Wasteland encounter. Fallout 3 is where companions really change. It's the first Fallout built entirely around moving through the world in real time, in first person. A huge, open wasteland designed to be walked, explored, and slowly worn down. And in that space, Dogmeat comes back, properly. This Dogmeat is found at the scrapyard, guarding the remains of his former owner. He isn't tied to a quest, and he doesn't need to be convinced. If you approach him calmly, he decides to follow you. That moment matters, because Fallout 3 doesn't frame Dogmeat as a reward, he feels like a choice. Mechanically, he's simple. He engages enemies, he pins them down, he stays close, always slightly ahead of you. But unlike later games, Fallout 3 still treats him as fragile. Dogmeat isn't essential. If he dies, he's gone. And early on, a lot of players learn that the hard way. People reload saves, they avoid fights, and they change how they play. Not because Dogmeat is overpowered, but because losing him feels wrong. Bethesda noticed that. Fallout 3 players didn't treat Dogmeat like equipment. They treated him like something they were responsible for. And that reaction leads to one of the strangest perks in the series: puppies. With this perk, Dogmeat stops being singular. If he dies, another Dogmeat appears to take his place. The same name, the same role, and the same presence. It's not explained, it's not sentimental, it's a mechanical solution to an emotional problem. And it's worth noting that when Fallout 3 first launched, there was no safety net. The puppies perk didn't come until later, with the Broken Steel expansion, and it was added after Bethesda saw how players reacted. Before that, people had to adapt. They told Dogmeat to wait at Vault 101, left him in safe places, and finished fights alone, then came back for him. Fallout 3 recognises that Dogmeat isn't about story or character arcs, he's about consistency. In a world where everything breaks, Dogmeat is the one thing that doesn't change how he treats you. And from this point on, Fallout never really lets that go. Fallout New Vegas approaches companions differently. This isn't a story about finding someone in the wasteland, it's about meeting people, and creatures, who already have a past. Rex is one of them. He's a cybernetic dog found at the King's School of Impersonation in Freeside. An old police canine kept alive through mechanical implants and scavenged technology. Rex isn't wandering, he's already home. but he's failing. His cybernetic brain is deteriorating, and the king knows it. If nothing is done, Rex won't survive. And that's where the courier comes in. Rex's companion quest, Nothing But a Hound Dog, doesn't ask whether you'll help him, it asks how. You're given a choice. Replace Rex's brain with another, a violent hound from the Legion, a feral dog taken from raiders, or an experimental cyberdog brain recovered through advanced technology. Each option keeps Rex alive, but each one changes him. His aggression, his behavior in combat, the way he moves through the world. There's no perfect outcome. New Vegas doesn't frame this as good or evil, just consequence. After the choice is made, Rex continues as a companion. Fast, lethal, and loyal. He doesn't comment on what you did. He doesn't question the decision that saved him. He just adapts. And that's Rex's place in New Vegas. Not a symbol of innocence, not constant, but a reminder that even the dog's loyalty can be shaped by the choices that you make. And this is where everything comes together. For a lot of players, Fallout 4's Dogmeat isn't just another companion. He's the favourite. Not because he's the strongest, not because he has the most dialogue, but because he feels like he belongs there. You meet Dogmeat early, at the Red Rocket truck stop just outside Sanctuary. He's alone, watching the road, already alert to danger. There's no quest marker forcing the meeting, no requirement for you to recruit him. He just simply notices you and decides to come along. From that moment on, Dogmeat feels less like a follower and more like a constant presence. He doesn't replace anyone, he doesn't compete for attention, he just fits into the space beside you. Fallout 4 doesn't give Dogmeat a complicated backstory, no previous owner, no tragic reveal. He exists in the world exactly as you find him, ready to move forward. Mechanically, Fallout 4 treats Dogmeat differently from every other companion. He still takes up the companion slot, but the rules quietly change around him. Dogmeat is the only companion who doesn't disable the Lone Wanderer perk. Every other follower removes this, but Dogmeat doesn't. Fallout 4 makes a clear distinction here. Dogmeat isn't meant to replace Solitude, he's meant to exist alongside it. That design choice matters, because Dogmeat isn't just an optional flavour in Fallout 4, he's essential to the story. When the sole survivor begins tracking Kellogg, there's no dialogue option that replaces Dogmeat, no alternate skill check, no companion substitute. The trail only continues because Dogmeat follows it. He leads you across the Wasteland, through Fort Hagen, and into the centre of the main plot. For the first time in the series, the dog isn't just supporting the player, he's driving the story forward. And Fallout 4 builds everything around that assumption. Dogmeat doesn't comment on the past. Like the other dogs in the series, he doesn't question your choices, he just moves when the trail moves, and waits when it ends. Of all the Dogmeats across Fallout, this one feels different. Not because he's newer, not because the game looks better, but because by Fallout 4, Dogmeat isn't just a companion anymore. He's part of the game. He's got his own fan base, his own mods, his own place in how people talk about Fallout. Players don't debate on whether they'll travel with Dogmeat in Fallout 4, they just expect him to be there. And Fallout knows that. He isn't written like an experiment or a balanced risk, and he isn't treated like something you might lose and move on from. Fallout 4 treats Dogmeat like something the series has already decided on. That dog belongs here. From this point on, the role is cemented. Not as nostalgia, not as a callback, but as part of Fallout's identity. No matter how the world changes, no matter how the systems shift, the idea of the dog stays the same. And by Fallout 4, that idea finally feels settled. By the time Fallout reaches television, the idea of the dog has changed again. CX-404 isn't a mystery, she isn't a stray, and she isn't found by chance. She's trained. Developed by the Enclave, CX-404 is engineered for obedience and control, a working animal treated as an asset rather than a companion. Her loyalty isn't earned over time, it's conditioned. And that matters, because CX-404 shows the other side of Fallout's relationship with dogs. On paper, CX-404 is just another Enclave tool, built to survive the Wasteland. But over time, that picture starts to change. As the series goes on, CX-404 shows signs of something closer to companionship, not just obedience. Looking back across Fallout, the dog isn't a character that evolves in a straight line. Instead, Fallout keeps testing the same idea, and slowly figuring out what works. In the beginning, the dog is fragile, easy to lose, almost disposable. Fallout 1 and 2 treat dogs like the Wasteland treats everything else. If you're not careful, they're gone. Fallout 3 changes that. Players start bending the game around Dogmeat, reloading saves, leaving him behind, playing differently just to keep him alive. And Bethesda noticed. New Vegas takes a different route. It gives the dogs history, damage, a problem you can't fix without changing who he becomes. Rex isn't there to be protected, he's there to make you choose. Fallout 4 is where the series finally commits. Dogmeat stops being a risk, or reward, or a test. He becomes part of the Foundation. Not because the story demands it, but because the players already decided he belonged. Even CX-404 reflects that shift. Coming from a place of structure and control, she still moves towards the same role Fallout always circles back to. Not a weapon, not a tool, just something that stays with you while the world falls apart. Fallout has always been about survival, about adapting to a broken world, making choices with limited information, and living with whatever comes after. But running through all of it, quietly, is something much simpler. A dog that doesn't ask questions, doesn't care who you were before the bombs fell, and doesn't judge who you become after. Whether it's a stray, a rebuilt machine, or something trained and learning to be more, the role stays the same. They don't change the wasteland, they just make walking through it feel less empty. And sometimes, that's enough. Thanks for watching, make sure you like and subscribe for more Wasteland Tales.